Hi and welcome to this week's walkthrough video from Two-Way Kids, where each week we create free, downloadable and printable lessons you can use with your under fives to help them to explore God's Word and to apply it to their life. If you haven't already done so, can I encourage you to head over to the website at truewaykids.com, and there you can download this week's lesson and follow along as we go through this guide. So this week we're looking at the book of Ecclesiastes together. It is probably one of the most overlooked books in the Bible. And on the front cover, what you'll find is the picture of a boy there in each of the seasons. And it builds on that famous verse in Ecclesiastes which says there is a time and a season for everything. Well, approaching the first page of this week's lesson, what we'll find is the introduction, covering some of the main points we're going to look at. As we've said, Ecclesiastes is one of the most overlooked books because it's sometimes hard to understand and hard to interpret. But it contains so many of King Solomon's wisdom. It says things about the world that we can actually apply and help your child's education and development, as well as learn the importance of remembering God in our youth. So in the lesson you'll find out some of the points and some guides and some activities for each one. One of the things is King Solomon was the richest man and the wisest man on earth at this time. He could have gone out and done anything he wanted. So what he did is an experiment really to chase these things. And you'll probably have a preschooler who asks why quite a lot. Why this, why that, why this? And that was King Solomon. He was asking why about everything. Well, what if I have money? What if I have this? What if he experimented? And one of the activities I recommend you do with your child is ask them what do they think would make them happy. And play a game where you blow bubbles around the room and have your child try to catch the bubbles. Because what King Solomon found out was while he chased all these things, when he finally caught them, they were just like bubbles. They burst and didn't bring him happiness. Then we have the time for everything. We have two is better than one, the importance of friends, and how we can work together. Then we have remember God in our youth, and the final conclusion is to obey him. And in the lesson you'll find all of these pointed out with activities you can do for each one of them. Then going to the lesson, we got some games and activities which are fun, which you can do with your child. The first one is to take a seasonal walk with your child. So you're in the north, it's going into autumn at the moment, so go for a walk with your child and you can see the leaves turning brown or golden or orange. You can talk about the difference in nature. Maybe find nuts as on the floor, pine cones, just see the difference in nature. If you're living somewhere else, maybe flowers are just coming into blossom or bloom, but talk about the seasons with your child. Recognize how God appointed these seasons. The second game I think we can play with our child is called Scattered Stones. So King Solomon said there's a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them in. So this, if you have the stones left that you painted from King David's lesson a few weeks ago, use those. If not, just get some stones and take it in turns to scatter them around an area. Then the other person must collect them as quickly as possible. Time each other. It's a fun game which will burn off some energy. Then finally, it's a water cycle bottle. So with this, you make a plastic bottle, draw on it the sun and the rain, some clouds above, little pictures and illustrations in the lesson. And there you can make this picture where it shows your child basically how the water cycle works. So put the plastic bottle on the windowsill. As the sun heats it up, it will start to evaporate and make some dew at the top, which will drop back in the bottle and go around. You can talk to your child how the water cycle works. We're going into this week's lesson. The first one builds off the water cycle. And it's a game where they need to label the different things in the picture. And while labeling them and while looking at them, it shows how water goes round and round. King Solomon said the streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. From where it started, there it will return. The next worksheet is two of the same. So there's colouring pictures of each animal. Some are the same and some are unique. What your child must do is see which have two of the same animal and colour those in. Again, building off the verse that two is better than one. On a similar theme, we also have in this week's lesson, we have a memory game, with pairs where you turn the cards over, and there again is a free printable. So what you need to do is find the two fruit to match. This is for two reasons. One, again, two is better than one. We need to match them, but also build, as King Solomon said, it's important to remember God in the days of our youth. So it's talking about how we use our memory. Then building off time. There's a time for everything, a season of everything. Here's a worksheet which shows a clock. You cut out the hand, then below this clock faces, and your child must match up the clocks so it's the same, and you're talking about what time it is in that picture. Then we have a really fun activity which is painting with cotton buds. So you'll see the trees, and what you need to do is follow instructions. So on the spring one, just put a few different green leaves. On the next one, cover the summer with green, and you just get a cotton bud and dot away until it's all filled, and put some snow on the branches and so on. That's just yeah, again, really fun, simple activity to do, but painting with a cotton bud is just a different experience for them. And actually in this week's lesson is an English version from a British English and American English. Whether it's autumn or fall, you can choose which worksheet suits you and print that one off. Then this week's craft is a clock with a Bible verse. So I have it here just for you to see, and there it is. So you'll see it's nice and easy. What you need to do is print off a template which is included free in the lesson, and you just colour it in, cut around it, the outside, put on the hands with a fastener pin, bit of sellotape or sticky tape on the back just to protect your child's hands, and that's nice and easy for them to make. As I said, there's another video included further down in the blog post showing how to do it step by step, but also the free template is included in the lesson which you can use. Also another craft which you can do, a simple one again, is a pin wheel. It's also like a windmill. So you just colour in the picture, cut out along the dotted lines, and then use a pin and safely put it into a piece of wood, and that will blow around in the wind. You can talk to your child again how King Solomon noticed the wind blows around and around, ever returning. Also on its course, we have a couple of colouring pages in this week's lesson. The first one is God makes everything beautiful in its time, taken from Ecclesiastes 3 verse 11. And that's again free for you to print off. You can use this as well as a craft instead of a craft if you're doing it in the church setting, it's easier for you. Or you can use these lessons throughout the week to help your child try to remember some of these verses. Again, another alternative to there's a time for everything, there's a colouring page also included with a clock which you can colour in, there's time for everything, and a Bible verse there from Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1. Well, on the last page you'll see some worship ideas, some songs from Ecclesiastes. Again, it helps us memory of the Bible verses that we've learned and to sing some of these truths. There's prayer requests and the preview of next week's lesson in which we're going to be looking at Elijah together. Well, I hope you have a great time as you explore this lesson together with your under fives this week. We had a really fun doing it, and we continue to have fun this week as we do some of the other activities in this lesson. So may God bless you, and as you spend this time, thank you for having the desire to teach under fives the Bible. And we'll see you again next week as we go through another walkthrough on the book of Elijah. May God bless you.